Welcome, one and all, to Conquest Clash. We're here in Season 1, Week 2 for this tournament that is presented by Amateur Oceanic Esports and sponsored by My Republic Gamer. I'm Temporal. I'm joined by the delightful D-Swell. And D-Swell, we have a fantastic lineup for your viewing pleasure tonight.
We do indeed. I mean, tonight on AoE Sports Conquest Clash, we have the two teams of Republican Party versus FA Team 2. They are a Div 3 team and they are fighting for position on the ladder. And speaking of Conquest Clash, it is a 5-week tournament. So this is week 2 and these teams are fighting and struggling for that position as we continue on through this tournament. It is a round robin, so everyone will verse each other each time. We do have 5 divisions. Tonight you'll be seeing Division 2 and Division 3 underway. Last week we saw some great action in Division 1. And finally, make sure to join all our socials to stay up to date with all the tournament progress, upcoming tournaments that you can join yourself, and stay up to news with all the latest and greatest of AoE Sports.
Indeed, you can find us on all the social platforms that matter at AO Esports, even the website.com.au. And you can also find information there about our sponsor, My Republic. Make sure you stay home with the number one broadband provider for your gaming needs. My Republic offers broadband services that provide ultra-low, ultra-stable latency connections, optimizing your gameplay experience. My Republic Gamer customers can enjoy exciting privileges, special offers, and support and specialized gamer perks. Make sure you visit myrepublic.net today to check them out.
And tonight, as we mentioned, the first game underway will be FA Team versus Republican Party. Both of them are doing well so far on the ladder. We have Republican Party. They got their first win in round number 1. Whereas you look at on the side of FA Team, they're sitting 4th in the standings. They did just lose their match 13-11.
That was a really close match, and so a respectable start, particularly given that they are a free agent team. That's what the FA stands for. So when just a little background on the tournament, you can sign up as a team or you can sign up individually, and we'll sort you into teams based on the available resources and your skill level. So for a free agent team to come out with a close, even if it's a loss, a close match like that in the first weeks bodes really well for them. We'll see how they stack up here against the Republican Party. You mentioned they had a win. It was actually a forfeit last week, so they got a bit of a break, a little bit of time. And wow, this is the first time I'm seeing this new agent select screen in action. I love it.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
To say we are going to bind. My God, this is it's so nice. We can actually see what these players are doing. But you know what? Let's introduce the teams. On the attacking side tonight will be FA Team 2, and those members are Char, Breno, Nyampasu, CV Lass, and Shambles.
Well, over on the other side, we have Republican Party, and they will be brought to you by Dixon, Snow, Jobber, Penguin, and Markey.
I'll be interested to see what these teams roll out on. Sky is available for this tournament. Given that she's only recently been introduced into official tournament play, I'd be a bit surprised, honestly, if we saw someone bringing that in. You've been able to use her in competitive, yes. So you've been able to use her in-game, yes, but teams may not have practiced with her. And I know FA Team, they've had a little troubles practicing. They've been scrimming a little successfully, but they've had to have subs every time. So a little less practice than they would have liked. And coming up against a team like the Republican Party, who are a group of friends, they know each other well, they've played together before, and they've had a week off for some extra practice. They've been able to hide their strats. We'll see if they're able to bring out anything special tonight and, make FA Team's season a lot more difficult by giving them a second one straight.
In essence, we're talking about mechanical skill because, as you said, they were up. FA Team was up a very good close match in their first round up against a team that has worked with each other. They have that cooperation, the knowledge of how each of them plays, and they bring together their mechanical abilities to be able to pull out the win here.
Well, we're seeing some interesting lineups coming out on the defense. Running a Sage, not something you see every day. Not particularly on bind either in recent times. What's three duelists and omens, so they're not running. They're running a flasher. Sorry, so a nice balanced setup there. Whereas a little more classical for FA Team 2. They're running the Brimstone and the Omen for a double smoke of all things.
I love to see the Brimstone, especially on Bind. It is one of the most viable maps for him, especially being able to tight away and put away the sightlines. I was going to get there eventually, but we're now into it. Penguin holding a nice little angle there. Got to miss his first few shots, but we see down towards Showers. Mark B being able to pick up a great little cheeky shot through there.
Well, that's one way to assert your dominance in the Phoenix v Phoenix battle. Opening seconds of the match, your opponent is gone. They're thinking, geez, maybe I wish I hadn't pissed Agent after all. Mark fires off a couple more shots, uses the hot hands to get away. But in the meantime, the spike is being planted behind the Phoenix. Going to be dealing with another player coming through. No, sorry, that is a friendly Rainer coming through. But there you go, spike planted. Mark realizes, oh, hang on, I've got to do something here. Things are level on the point. 4 players apiece. Still anyone's game.
We're now starting to see them get a little bit aggressive. Time's ticking. They're starting to make their move. They've run onto the point. They fake defuse, and Mark is still be able to get kills. He can't get that final kill as he retreats back to the smoke, but Jobber is there to back him up, and now they're going to start collapsing. They still got 2 left to go. The bomb is still going down. Beautiful shot by Mark.
Mark! Blimey, what a way to start things out. Building up towards that runner back. The spike defuse going to grant an extra ultimate charge towards that. Brilliant play. And be looking for more action like that coming out of the Republican Party if they want to get things done.
There's a beautiful little timed aggression at the end there. Both Mark, is it Marky or Mark? Before we continue going on,
I'm assuming it's Mark. It's
okay.
It's a French thing. RQUE be Mark.
I'm reading it I'm saying this. I read it, so I'll leave the blame up to you if we are wrong. But Mark and Jobber, they've done great on collapsing and continue to kind of crossfire their way onto the point, and their aggression allowed them to get onto that point. And now we can see, Dixon gets the first kill and retreats before anything else can happen. But now it's in shambles. We've got the Omen. He's come on through, so they know that he's in there. But they're still going to try for the aggression, and this could backfire heavily.
Well, I'll be curious to see how FA Team 2 wants to run to this. They're going to have to deal with the runner back. The Phoenix gets a little intel. Oh, it gets taken down in the end. So nice response from FA Team 2. But unfortunately, they've lost just too many numbers. It's 1 player left. Skno, we'll see if they're able to get any hits done. They get a couple of hit picks onto Penguin. But in the end, Dixon finishing up as they started. A nice early lead now for the Republican Party.
Yes, and for FA Team, though, not all was lost. They did manage to get a little bit of eco damage done, but they are going to be able to buy straight back up to that full weaponry, and they did destroy a little bit of armor there. So it's going to be a little bit of a costly round, and not too bad of a win there for FA Team, as now we're going to see what do they have, what can their site executions pull off. They do have that Brim. Are they going to go towards A, which is one of the preferred sites for a Brimstone, because you can lock down so many side angles?
We're going to see FA Team 2 come in with a slight advantage. Still those 3 Spectres on the defending side, but they've got a comfortable lead. So they're not going to be too stressed about it. And I think I was trying to make this point before and I couldn't quite get it out. There's no intelligence players on the defending side. So they're playing very aggressive, very fast. That's why you see them holding as far forward as they are. They don't have the facility to play passive with the composition they're running. So we'll see if they're able to keep up this aggressive momentum. And so far, it's paying off Skno with an early pick onto Breno. It's going to make FA Team 2 think about things. Penguin around the outside as well, able to pick off Char. Things not looking good for the attacking team.
And Penguin, he's still holding that aggressive position. He's throwing down as much smoke and kills as much cast as he can. He picks up his second for the round in a great little position there. And they're just holding him off. It's put the offense onto the back foot. And being on the back foot, Dixon's going to come in from behind but gets shut down as soon as he walks up behind. It's a fantastic little work, but he's going to be taken down. It's 4 versus 2 as now they're trying to find an opening towards the B-sides.
We'll see VLS seeing what they can find up that B-side.
30 seconds left.
Plenty of support. I say plenty of support. A little bit of support there. Coming through from Shambles.
And we've got that rotation coming from A already, as now they've noticed him. And beautiful shot by Penguin. Just gets the 4th into Hukar, but it's not going to be the case. He's got 12 seconds left. Oh my god. Shambles find the 2 and the point comes on out. It's got the showstopper. It's not going to land. That's a little bit of damage.
Got to get the spike down though.
The bomb is so far away. What a wonderful effort. Oh,
Well,
I
they
was
made
my heart was in my throat then because that was fantastic mechanical skills coming out of there.
Indeed, it was, and they made the Republican Party suffer for that victory. Just Mark left at the end. Yes, they've got that win bonus coming up, but FA team 2, it's progress for them. They're finally getting 4 kills in a round, just one more, and they'll start winning rounds, which is something they desperately need. They can't let the Republican Party get off to a 5 or 6 round lead at the start of this half. Otherwise, it may be.
And now we go pushing a correction through the mid Dixon. No, great timing as they now collapse and get the kills. And everyone is just falling. Great coordination and absolutely phenomenal aggression. You don't see this kind of aggression on defense too often.
No, you don't, but I mean, I said it before, they've got to play this way. They can't sit and wait. And look at that, geez, responding to almost losing the round, coming back to win without losing a member. Republican Party standing strong, showing that bye week didn't put them off their game at all. They must have been screaming hard, even while all the other teams are playing their tournament matches.
And I guess that's where we talked about at the start, between that mechanical skill from one side and the coordination from a team that has worked together and they understand. They've got these set plays, and you saw it execute perfectly there. They jumped through the middle as Snow and Marky went straight down and just moved a new path through the offensive side, and they just picked up the round, which looked almost too easy. As now we see that aggression is not going to be too great for that Jet.
Geez, this is the first time FA team had an advantage. Snow going to get shut down. Sorry, they're going to do the shutting down on the counter, Omen. Trade's going back and forward either way, but they're still favouring free agent team 2. Things are looking good for them now. They've got double the numbers of Republican Party in play. They're getting that spike down, and finally they're in a position where they could finally get their first round win on the board.
And Jobber and Dixon, what can they show us? Jobber pops around the corner, gets himself a kill. He can heal himself up a little bit more to give him a little bit more of a buffer as he re-enters the site. Dixon knows there's one now playing near that default position, and he has to try and wait for his teammate to come in as the bomb continues to tick down. And as he leaves heaven, he gets his wings clipped and falls down, and so does Jobber. See Vlast just done an phenomenal job that round. Started off with a run up back, entered onto the site, opened up the world, and well, you see what they could do with the world. They solidify it and finally put their flag in it, saying they're here to play.
And brilliant use of the Blaze there to cut the side in half, knowing that there's 2 players remaining, suspecting that they're split up with the wall out. It just left Dixon jumping out down off the high ground, really isolated. Wasn't going to be getting any support from, I believe it was Jobber, was the other player left. So really smart play from the Phoenix. They're showing they've played this agent. They know exactly how to use the abilities in the right way at the right time. And as a result, free agent team 2 get their first round on the board, but they're going to have to deal with the op of Penguin.
Ooh, and he almost gets himself that kill. You just watched him. Snow is actually going to be able to get a turnaround kill, and this just completely ends the push right here. And they're going to go into a slow stage, which looked like they wanted to get real fast in here. And you have Marky. He's looking at getting even aggressive. He loves coming through these showers, but this time he's going to retreat, play it back safe on the site with the rest of his team. And Snow's going to get shut down for a 3 versus 3, but beautiful operator shot.
Indeed, Penguin standing tall with the Jet. Operator in hand has the blade if they want to get up close and personal. But as it stands, they're not going to have to do it. Jobber, nice counter on the rotation, despite getting nowhere near that B site. As Republican Party, they get back on the board. They got still maintaining a 4-round lead.
That's one of the hardest rounds to lose, because after you pick up the round after you're on a losing streak, you've now got the finances, you've got the economy, it starts falling in the way. But if you lose that round directly afterwards, your economy is going to be almost in shambles. We can see it here. We've got 3 members. Oh, actually, it looks like they're just all going to decide to go for a semi-buy, which I think is the reasonable option here, so they can full buy next round. And like I said, the economy's hurting. They're struggling at the moment. They need to find a good few kills in this round to bring their economy back into a healthy state.
Well, CV just still decided to pick up that Phantom, so we'll see if they're able to make use of that. The only player with any real range option available to them. Thanks, Skano. Looking for a cheeky little telly, trying to find some intel. It'll be free agent team 2 hanging around that exit to the teleport on the B side. Shambles has to contend with that wall. Still waiting for Skano. What a reposition. Cuts down 2. Oh dear. This round looks like it's going to be all over. The spike is down in that alleyway leading up to Hookah.
And you can just see the collapse coming in from the Republican Party. A great little line coming on out, and then you just get destroyed down from either side. I'm not too sure what I was going to say there, as I lost my train of thought. And beautiful kills there from Dixon with the nice classic showing that doesn't matter what weapon he has out, he will find the kills when it's most needed.
The Republican Party, they're playing things so smart. You pointed it out. They know exactly what to do at the right moments. They know when Free Agent Team 2 is trying to decide what to do. You see the remaining players, Mark, Dixon, Jobbers, wrapping around the backside. They're not giving Free Agent Team 2 any moments respite. They know that the way to, I guess, if they're not giving them room to breathe, it's going to force mistakes, it's going to force panic, and it's going to give them free round wins.
And it's allowing the Republican Party to play the game they want to play. You know, hard, fast, don't let anyone any time to think, and just rely on your teammates. And actually, their hard and fast strategy might backfire a little bit here, as the 2 opening kills is going towards FA Team.
A little too cocky. The Dixon sneak into the teleport. It's going to stymie Free Agent Team 2 for a while. You see 2 players there, both Nyan and Nyan and CV. You have watch that. Dixon ends up taking down the Brimstone. Skno gets the drop on Brino as well. All of a sudden, that lead for Free Agent Team is back to an even 3v3.
The beautiful runner back is being able to find himself an opening on that side. He knows there's one here with a great flash, and now it's 2 versus 1. They know that Reyna is right behind him. The Empress is now popped. She is on the hunt. She's fearless at this moment. Dixon wants to find the kills, and they've to the B site because they know this is an opportunity to finally play a retake, get that bomb down, and she's on the hunt.
Well, perhaps they suspect where she's coming from. The teleporter Sam would have alerted them. With a chucking dart on Dixon, going to be cut down. CBLS picks up the 4K, but in the end, nice play by FA Team 2. Good smart rotation, and they had, I guess, they had that site locked down. Even though Dixon threw in the Empress, they didn't show too much fear and let the Reyna have the play of the battlefield.
I think they're starting to adapt to their opponents. You saw them play a lot more defensive and defensive-orientated angles. As, you know, the push through showers and the mid came, they found those kills. So I think if they play a little bit more patient and kind of let the aggression backfire from FA Team, from the Republican Party, then I think they might be able to find a few more of these rounds.
Cheeky little teleport at the start. Skno and Dixon both went through, but not finding anything. FA Team sitting up near that A short side, getting a bit of spray off Mark, gonna have to find a way to heal themselves. The orbital strike invested proactively to clear out lamps. That's given access to the site for FA Team. Still no trades either way. Dixon on the high ground, looking for something, spraying through. Nice paranoia. It's going to be the end of Brino. Spike is down though, so now the ball really in Republican Party's court. They need to re-engage and fast.
Snow's going for the hunt in the lamps, and he finds himself with Genius. He now runs out towards the mid, trying to give a little bit of crossfire to the rest of his team, and the rest of his team's dying as he burns down, and great little flames going there. Marquis is there to back up for that return. 3 versus 1. This is hard. Chad's got 1. He can't get the second as he is all branded, and they will find themselves to defuse.
It was close, but no cigar. Chard doing a good job getting 1, but that flash is too much. The blind spray, bit unlucky, and Republican Party dicing with death there. Still 5 seconds left.
Yeah, that was close.
You take those. But once again,
that's for sure.
Even though FA Team 2 lost that, CB class once again stepping up, getting a huge amount of kills there, giving an opening for the team to get in. They get the spike down and give them a chance to win the round. And at this point, it looks like that's really the only opening they have. You see CBLS leading the way. The Shambles actually not too far behind either. 8-7. You think that's around 1 KD, but a fair amount of the team's combined frags are coming from those 2 players. So really leading the charge of the team. Actually doing a bit better than the other team in that regard. A bit more spread out for the side of Republican Party. Everyone chipping in.
And you can kind of feel it, you know. Each member is kind of making sure they're pulling their own weight. If you don't lose one of those key fraggers, you've got the momentum to continue pushing through into those rounds. But if once you start to lose those key fraggers on FA Team, then it's a bit hard because the follow-up players, they might not be ready there to capitalize, or they might not be there to find those frags you need to continue to roll down that site. So it's a little bit difficult to have that little bit of a kill spread not there for the rest of your team.
And it also makes it a bit more difficult when you're trying to get those ultimates online. Sometimes a good ultimate can turn around. You know, a great neural theft can be a round saver, but Char sitting there on 2 kills. I think it's been getting the orbs most of these rounds, so we've already seen them build up to Neural Theft once, and obviously up to 4 again, so they've got a strategy for getting those ultimates there, but you'd perhaps like to see either if you're going to be relying on those duelists getting all your kills for you, they need to be pulling out 3 kills, 4 kills, aces between others individually or between them every round, and it's a lot of pressure for those players.
We've seen it though. I mean, you look at CV Last. I mean, when he's had his run it back, he's always found himself a kill. He's opened up the sights. I mean, the 2 wins they have come from Shambles and CV Last with great ultimate usage. I'd almost go as far to say as the Republican Party's ultimate usage hasn't been as effective as FA teams throughout this match so far.
The rate they're building them up at this point, they're just rechargeable abilities. They're not ultimates. It's, I've just bought another ultimate ability. I'll throw it in. Resurrection, just take it. I'll have one next round anyway.
And now the match is resuming as our players back in after a little bit of issues, and Penguin will be having a little cheeky pick down at Showers, but no one's there, and there's an aggressive spot from Dixon. He's going to get a little bit of information that they are planning a B side, so we're going to see the aggressive lurk and rotation come in from the A side, or are they just going to hold it a little bit more? We do have Marky already quickly rotating though. Yeah,
Mark actually invested the run it back there, saw no one anywhere near the A side, so smart play from Republican Party, getting some numbers across, but maybe the fake is on. FA team, they're rotating back through their own spawn. They're going to hit Ace this time. There's not going to be a teleporter to get those extra defenders from B over to A.
The Republic team, they know about this though. Look at the rest of Dixon. He's got a lot of information. And now we're going to see Snow all around. It's a beautiful paranoia onto 1. He has to retreat and wait for that backup to come onto the side. And he's not going to get punished. He's going to be quite happy about that. And Peppercorn holding a great angle. Beautiful shot down into the A cubby side as the smoke finally comes up, walking down that side, and the rotation from Snow. He's now playing deep. Got him surrounded from every angle here, Temple.
Mark popping around, lands back behind the members of FA team. They didn't expect to see the Phoenix come from there, but nice answering kills. Breno and CVLS picking one up. Snow, though, standing firm. CVLS leveling things out once again, but in the end, won't quite be able to get the job done. The defuse going over to the Republican Party. They're closing in on the end of this half, and they're going to have a health lead going into the second.
Oh, it was looking so well there for FA Carson when they decided to wrap around and get to the A side. But it was such beautiful knowledge gathering by Dixon being played on Republican Party. He went down long and noticed there was not a single person in sight, and that allowed them a little bit of a quicker rotation to get back to the A site when there was only 2 members holding themselves there. And Snow, with a beautiful paranoia, slowing things down, allowed the rest of his team to rotate in from every angle, and then it was just, meat patty. It was completely gobbled up in there.
Interesting to note from that scoreboard as well. You see the improvement in FA team. They've gone from being timed out, getting killed, to at least getting the spike down, having to force Republican Party to defuse. But Dixon, once again, playing that aggressive game, gets one. FA team choosing to still continue with this. There you go. The Neural Theft is out. They know that the entire defense is stacked on that A side. So either choose to rotate. They're going to have to deal with Dixon still sitting inside that teleporter, though. Once again, the Rain are playing the funny games.
He's such a troublemaker. Wherever he goes, he's in these unusual predicaments, forcing the opponents to just wonder what he's going to do. And he found himself the early kill at the start of the game. And actually, we're going to see a push through hookah here. And that wall is not as strong as it once used to be. Can he find the kills? He has to retreat through the tuna can. He's going to slow that down. Up on the backside, they're lurking from Breno. They're just finding kills all over the map now. They're collapsing on the side of Republican Party.
The teleporters finally bringing the Republican Party unstuck. FA team is wise to their shenanigans. You see a nice teleport from Breno going over to the A site, locking down Heaven, which are getting the spike down. Plenty of opening out for FA team. They've got the numbers they need. They've got the positioning they need. Can the Republican Party bring themselves back into it, or they're going to have to give this one away?
I think they have to give this one away, Temporal. I mean, their phones are looking a little bit shambly at the moment. And you've got that operator on the jet. There's no better combination in this game than the operator and the jet. So play it safe. If they want to come for you, let them. Pick them off, secure what you can, and retreat. I think this is the wise play from Republican Party. And this is round 11 going towards FA team. And hopefully they can bring themselves up another round, because 4-8 going into the half is not terrible.
No, it's not, especially with the way they started. Stringing 2 rounds together will also be a confidence boost for them. Yeah, you lose Breno, but you know what? A round win is a round win at this point. They're going to have a couple of tools coming this round. Both the duelists actually have their ultimates online. They're going to be able to buy in thanks to that round win there and keeping members alive. So things looking up. Snow sitting on 700 credits, not going to be able to buy, but thankfully the rest of the team there is going to be able to put up front for them this well.
Yes, we need to keep an eye on Svas. I mean, we've seen 3 run-it-backs, 3 fantastic openings onto the side. He is the man to watch in this match as they're preparing to take the A side, and each time he's run it back, it has been on the A side too. So if they take him out early with Penguin, look at that peak. He breaks his teammate, however.
No.
That's a little unfortunate as the bomb goes down. He pops the run it back. He's going to run in. He dodges the first shot, but the Jet, she's already out of it. He can't punish it. This could be the unfortunate run it back he was not looking for. He's still chasing up the side and gets no information out of it.
That's okay. You force the operator out of position. It's already done a little bit of damage. You have to stem the bleeding and give yourself an opportunity to come in fresh. They force that repositioning, like I said, from the Jet back onto the point. Now, FA team, they have to decide, do we continue A or do we rotate out towards B and Jobber? Expect something might be up waiting with the loop, but Shambles taking down the Sage is a great way to level the odds and give FA team the run they need onto B.
What a key frag, and now they're going to be running over to the B site with the Empress is available from Dixon, but nice little teleport coming out, but they're going to be instantly traded. 3 versus 2. Can they do it? These are some key players on the FA team as now all the ultimates coming out and they're doubling back to the A side. They're like, there's too much utility used here. Let's go back to the A side and see what we can get. They're puts and forwards here.
Republican Party knows something's up. You see, one player rotating back. Question is now, FA Team 2, they need to get the spike down. They've got no more chance to reposition. They're going to have to go for A. They're going to have to deal with Snow up in the high ground as well. And if they don't get it down soon, Dick's going to be there, as is Penguin with the operator. Things not looking good for the attacking team.
10 seconds left.
And they are going to be able to get that plant down. Svas, unfortunately, doesn't spot Snow in time as he gets the kill. It's 1 versus 3. They switch positions. Like a little bit of ring around the Rosie at the truck as he now runs into the land. They're going to start to stick it, fake it. Puts a little bit of pressure onto Brenho as he gets one. He's the...
Oh, no, really? Gets the spray down. Oh, my word. Brent's brought it back. FA Team 2 going to the half, 8-4 down. That is the best possible result. And Brennan, what a clutch.
Oh my god. That was wonderful. I mean, I was so afraid when he was reloaded, and unfortunately the shots missed from the opposition, and then he took it and he found the kills. It was just, my heart rate's through the roof. That was fantastic.
Oh, when the reload came through, I was like, oh no, this is it for the Omen, but able to get the clip done, pull off the spray. That is got to be a massive confidence booster for FA Team. Breno on top of the world right now. We'll see if they're able to make an impact in this first pistol round, because really they need to get as much momentum as they can early in the match.
I think that momentum's going to do well for Snow. I mean, sorry, not for Snow, for Brenho. He wasn't doing too well on the scoreboard, so now he's been brought up into like the central, almost upper half of the scoreboard in terms of being able to capitalize on the kills and moments he's had. And now, how can they do against the defense? And we get the push coming into the A side. The lead's going to come out, it's not going to find anyone. The smoke is trying to cut off lamps, and a nice little paranoia. But Shambles get the nice little kills, the paint grenades, slowing down the push. Blast is able to get himself a little turnaround kill, and unfortunately a little sneaky from Snow there. He's going to get the kill and retreat as fast as they can.
The FA Team was almost able to punish the aggression, but in the end, Republican Party extracting a toll, able to get out with their spike as well. Now they're rotated across to B. They're wasting absolutely no time. Snow's on site. The spike is there. Penguin doing the required task. Oh, the incendiary gives away Nyala's position, but the Brimstone's able to get the pick anyway. Now out onto the side. Oh my word, following up onto Penguin.
I absolutely love Char then. You might not have seen it, but Char sat in the camera the entire time, and he kept giving the entire intel over to his team, exactly where they were. So the shots coming out from his allies were able to follow up wonderfully because they knew exactly where they were. You don't need stuff. You've just got a camera there watching them 24/7.
Indeed, and now we're seeing FA Team, they've got momentum definitely in their favour, at least from a mindset reason. Halftime, of course, reset the economy, but they've got an interesting buy coming in this round. Looks like, yeah, they are going to invest. They don't want to give Republican Party any easy round wins, but they've got to be very, very careful right now. If they lose a couple of plays early, they give over some weapons, Republican Party will be in the box seat to take out the round and with an economic advantage going forward.
It's fast. He's going to try and flash around this corner. He might be able to find himself one. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. He gets himself caught out as he's now going to safely retreat back to the safety of EA's site. But at the same time, Branho is looking aggressive. I mean, defense on both sides at the moment are just looking at being aggressive instead of defending these sites. And it's playing off wonders, dividends, I should say, for both sides as Nyan finds himself killed towards me.
They were rotated all the way towards the attacker side spawn there. Really smart, aggressive play from the Brimstone. Of course, wrapping instantly back towards the site is a smart play. You got the pick. Now the pressure is on Republican Party. They're at a numbers disadvantage. They've got to also pick a side because there's only 50 seconds left. It looks like B might be the go.
I think once Mikey is doing a wonderful job, causing a little bit of sound and a little bit of anxiousness on the defense as you see the Brimstone now wrapping around. But as the execute comes over to B, he is wrapping himself back around to hopefully give a little bit of support to that Cypher's. Now the executor's on. They got 30 seconds to get on in here, start clearing out, and find themselves that bomb plant.
Nyan has all the information required thanks to that camera. Char doing a fantastic job, as you noted near the end of the half. Gonna have to contend with the Jet, hunting them down though. Oh no, you spent too long in the cam, but Nyan is there, taking care of business on the point. Just the one player left. Mark, they were causing havoc. Can they continue that play? Well, nice sheriff shot. Long range, but now only on 23 health. Either to back off, potentially heal. They're plugging away with the sheriff, but in the end, the spike will be diffused. Just getting away with their life is all you're going to get for the Phoenix. 2 on the trot for FA Team 2. They're doing really well right now.
Tempo, I think we're going to see a comeback here. The momentum is swinging so much in favor of FA Team's position. Once they've got into this groove, they're starting to flow with it, and they're just taking this game by storm, taking these next 2 rounds. They're confident, and I love it. You know, they're showing that they've got the aggression too, and their aggression is now putting the Republican Party on the back foot. They can't play the game that they want to play right now, and I think that's brilliant.
Well, it's going to be a concerted A push coming out from Republican Party, at least initially. Plenty of defenders waiting for them though. Breno, typically sitting in lamps. And then back off once the paranoia goes through. A lot of cover up that A short side. No one silly enough to push through it. In fact, the Republican Party, they're swinging back. But Nyan waiting in position once again. Has a Phantom this time. We'll see if Republican Party is wary to that play this time around.
I love these lurks, and both sides are doing it consistently. As soon as they got that little bit of opening, they take a mile from the opposition. I don't know if they're going to suspect this here. He swings, he gets the first one, he almost gets a second. He's reloading, and the Rainer is going to punish him for having to reload as they now rush their way to the B site, but you're up against the Cypher and all the utility placed down here, so he's going to be able to delay him long enough for the teammates to come in to help him out.
Yeah, this time Char well protected, and Nyan did their job. Dixon, though, oh, that's an unfortunate pick. Brenner going down straight away. You see Sivilas coming through the teleporter, trying for some of those shenanigans the Republican Party was pulling off in the first half. Chances the camera's still there. They know where they are, but Dixon doesn't care. Doesn't need no camera to tell you where the enemies are. The Rainer knows exactly where their defenders are going to be coming from. Mark pops around the corner, takes care of Sivilas. Things falling apart for FA Team 2. Char gets one back, but it's just the Cypher remaining. Dixon will pick up a 4K for that round. Republican Party get their first round in their attacking half.
And it was a round they needed. Coming on to the 3rd round, they would have got the lost person, be able to full buy up next round. But because they've been able to continually find these kills round after round, they're going to be holding FA Team out kind of an average amount of economy, we will say. So if they lose this round, it's going to be punishing on FA Team, as they're not going to be able to buy out for 1, possibly 2 rounds based upon how they want to take the next few, if they get a bomb plant, or a bomb defuse, I should say, off. So this is going to be a key moment in this match. If FA Team can get this, then their hopes and dreams will continue to fight on in this match. If they lose it, then we might not be looking so good.
Well, the runner back invested by Mark, they're going straight for this point. They're going to have to contend with a counter. How to see Sivilas of both Phoenixes, 2 lives apiece. Sivilas, oh, that was nicely played. The hot hand straight onto where Mark was going to respawn. He finishes off the Phoenix, and that gives FA Team the advantage they were looking for.
They still think he's in there, but he's rotated back around thanks to that right back. But now he's in there, so then now they know he's there. He's trapped in a beautiful paranoia from Snow as he opens the door, gets paranoid, and they shut him down. As now they execute onto site with just a Shambles left. But we've seen Shambles pick up a 4K before, so let's see him do it here.
Well, things are looking good for FA team, but Republican Party too strong. Penguin really stepping things up, doesn't need an operator to get the job done, and frankly it feels like the operator is an unnecessary tool for Republican Party. They're doing fantastic jobs with the rifles across the board, playing that aggressive game. At this point, they can of course they can tend to stick with what they've got in this round, because as you pointed out, FA Team 2 not going to be buying into this one.
And they will be picking up the Ghosts with a little bit of armor to play underneath their name, and they will have full utility, which is key if you want to try and find any of these kills. You know, a nice little flash of paranoia. Find yourself kill a little weaponry out of your opponent's hand. That's all you're asking for at this stage at the moment when it comes into this round, is Wesley Slass has to try and retreat to get into a better position as they're now starting to run in onto the B sides.
Lots of utility used to cover off. The camera's still sitting there, and a very interesting position by Char, sitting in the container. Bold but risky. Dixon takes down CV last. Breno gets one, but the kills all going the way of the Republican Party. Penguin has been stepping it up in the second half, picking up 2 to 3 kills every round, and that's seeing Republican Party close in on that match win.
And they've got 4 ultimates to help them continue barrel their way to that victory. So this is the do or die round coming from FA Team 2. They're going to need to capitalize on any opening that they can find. Their aggression has started to kind of ease off a little bit as they've started to lose a bit of confidence in themselves. And with the way that Republican Party are playing at the moment, I don't blame them. They just need to communicate and maybe put a little bit more defensive. Wait for your team to come around a little bit faster, because they are taking their time in the rotations because they're a little bit unsure of themselves, Temporal. But now they're starting to be assaulted on the A side here.
Looking for something, it's going to be shut down. Gets a bit of intel, knows someone's hiding around that A heaven area. The Republican Party undeterred, they're still moving on to the A side. Breno getting 1, getting 2, swings out of lamps. Brilliant work from the Omen. Taken down. Dropper has the resurrection. They're going to try and find something, but ultimately running away, not able to get those bodies. I take that back, the barrier.
They don't hold your tempo. They want that bodies are coming on in there. Flame Wall is going to go down. There's a little bit of team damage there as Jobber takes his eyes off the prize momentarily. The spike goes down as they rotate out. So they've left the spike. Oh no, they haven't. The Phoenix got it. How in the world?
Oh, the curveball was the stroke of brilliance. They're able to retreat the spike, get away and join the rest of the team on the B site. And now the pressure is really on FA Team 2. They're the ones that have to re-engage onto the site, and they don't have a numbers advantage.
But CV Glass, he sees the paranoia comes out, he's going to be able to capitalize it. So now they have the numbers advantage, Temple, and they're going to have to start collapsing on the side. As I say that, it's 2 versus 2. That Empress is showing why she's the queen at the moment in this match. As we have a very unusual position being played by Marquis. Are they going to suspect it? No, they will not. Marquis gets a beautiful kill. They're going to flash around the corner, and he gets the second, and they secure themselves a 12. Marquis, his aim is on fire.
Match point for the Republican Party. What a brilliant defense there. Mark in particular, up in that spot. Char wasn't expecting that, and once they knew that Phoenix was the only player left, they kind of realized where CV Lass was hanging out, and that last kill, that flashbang, the curveball around the corner, just pops around, gets the kill. It's just like it's a training range.
I took my eyes off it just momentarily as I checked the scoreboard, and next thing you know, the spike was gone. I can't even imagine how it was like for the defense side there.
Well, a limited buy coming from FA Team, and already Breno is down. Penguin looking for something with the Bladestorm. Gonna have to deal with a showstopper from Shambles. It takes out Dixon, but oh, that's nice. A Jet is going to shut down that Razor's Reign of Terror. Now waiting, watching the spawns. Gets a blade out, takes a bit of damage, has to back off for the moment, but Jobber planting that. The Orbital Strike not going to be finding anything. Keeps Penguin out in the open for a bit there as well. But now the pressure on F Team, they need to get the spike defused.
Oh, Char gets a nice little kill there, but 1 versus 3, he's up against the world. It's going to be very difficult for him. He dodges the paranoia. He's got himself about 30 seconds left, and they know where he is. They're just trying to get him down. He quickly turns around. It's the third. He can't do it. He's doing well. He's got the momentum. He just needs to find one more on this Phoenix. He's got a little bit of time taken down, but he has no idea where he is. He's actually going to counter that, gets the new FF down, but he's losing a lot of time at the moment. Great flash, holding Char for a little bit longer. Char needs to get on site, and he's not time. He will shut that down, and we will be seeing the Republican Party take out their round 2 win.
Geez, Char did a phenomenal job in that last round, but ultimately, time was really not on their side. Brilliantly played by Mark to finish that one off, and ultimately, Republican Party coming out with the goods, setting themselves up really well in this group. They've got 2 wins on the board now. They're looking pretty to perhaps take out the group, because from here, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to catch up. And there is nothing bad to say about this Republican Party team. All the players stepping up where required. In particular, Mark and Dixon playing very aggressive, but it paid off for them time and time again. FA team wasn't able to find a way to punish the aggressive duelists.
And I mean, we did see a couple times that they weren't able to do it, and then the momentum almost started to swing back to them. But once they started to lose that kind of shutting down the aggression from the Republican Party, it was Republicans Party game to lose, because that aggression, we saw on both sides. The aggression in this match won rounds. Once a team started to commit to a side, you saw the defense rap fast, rap hard, and they always found the kills to try and secure that round. And we saw that from Republican Party time and time again on the offense and defense, and that's, in the end, in my opinion, that aggression is what won them the match.
Indeed, but not great showings out of FA team, flashes of brilliance. Hopefully over the course of the season, they're able to, bond a little bit more, come up with some coordinated strats that are just difficult. I mean, it's essentially you're playing competitive. They're playing competitive but running into the same players over and over again. Maybe with some more consistent scrim time will help them put together some players, some strats that will help them get them across the line in their future matches. And the play of the match is definitely going to be that clutch from Breno to close out the first half, going 1v3, securing the spike detonation. Brilliant work out of the Omen. I'm looking forward to what we see out of them in the future.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right there, Temple. But that is not all we have tonight for you, everyone. We have another match coming up very shortly. It will be Brian Squid versus Lockdown. And they will be 2 teams in our Division 2 that will be looking to fight their way to the top of the ladder. So stay tuned, as we'll be having more AoE Sports Conquest Clash coming up soon.
Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop Never stop dreaming.
Welcome back, my friends, to the Conquest Clash. We're in week 2 of season 1, and being ably presented by Amateur Oceanic Esports and sponsored by My Republic Gamer. Second up tonight is a Division 2 match between Brian, Squid and Lockdown. I'm still Temporal. I'm still joined by Deeswall. It's a pleasure to have you here. Deeswall, that was an interesting first game to start off with.
It was a fun first game. It's what we're going to see more and more throughout this tournament. You know, these teams wanted to prove a name for themselves, whether it be a pickup squad we saw with FA team, or more of established friends, as we saw with Republican Party. And here we have Brian Squid up against the Lockdown.
So Lockdown, I guess you could say Lockdown is a group of, I guess, a random party. They were a team formed during lockdown that they have been competing in multiple tournaments in the Valorant scene since way back since Valorant launched all those months ago. Now, trying to make it sound like Valorant's been out for ages, but you know, that was only June. It just feels like a long time after being stuck in lockdown.
Well, we look over on the side of Brian Squid, you know, they've been playing together for At the same time, they want to get into the competitive scene, so they organized a group between themselves, and they've just been organizing scrims with whatever teams they can find in the Oceanic region, and so they've got similar experience to Lockdown, so I think we're going to be in for an epic match coming up, Temporal.
Indeed, we're starting out once again on Bind. The side of Lockdown features Iced, Kateri, Dan, Kenny, and Zotto. And for Brian Squid, not Brain Squid as my mind keeps trying to tell me.
And then on the opponents, we have Velcrook, Handsome, Ooflux. Oh man, that's going to trip me up multiple times. And KN1 and Mikals.
Select your agent.
So we're seeing some interesting agent selections coming out. 7 seconds left. Floss are going to need to pick someone soon, but hovering over the Jet, I'm honestly surprised the Jet main doesn't lock in a Jet instantly as soon as the agent select screen appears. It seems to be my experience when it comes to...
Guess who we got?
Oh, what do you know? Jet.
We got ourselves a Sky.
Oh, sorry, I was too concerned with what Floss is going to be running. Yes, the Australian agent is here, the Tasmanian Terror. I'm assuming she's Tasmanian. She has a Tasmanian tiger as a spirit animal. She's here. She's on the board. She's available for tournament play. I'm very interested to see what Velcrook is going to be doing on this agent. Still very new, so the curious question will be, how does the side of... I'm getting confused. How does the side of Lockdown deal with Sky on the field?
It's one of those characters that it's going to be replacing a lot of your Sentinel characters. At least that's what it's rumored. But it has the utility to also almost become one of your Jewels and replace your Phoenixes, which already sees a low run in competition as it is. And you've got that Flash. You've got the Recon ability, which... that's going to be giving them a lot of attention to a lot of these corners and maps, being able to fly around with that guiding light, that hawk, and be able to peek around those corners, just like Sova's drone would be.
Well, I'll be curious to see how much practice Velcrook has had on this agent. Maybe they just decided just before the match, you know what, let's throw a spanner into it. So I'm going to go and buy Sky. We'll run a hope for the best coming into things. And Brian Squid will be looking for their first win of the season. They did, unfortunately, not get the win against 1000 Ping last week. So off to a rocky start, but you know what, Lockdown, same position. So really, either of these teams, whichever one wins, will be getting their first win of the season. But Dan opening up nicely with a kill onto Floss.
Somehow Velcrook is unfortunate. His Flash did not go off there. He's going to have to regrowth, try and heal himself up. But his teammates are doing well at holding the point, stopping that bomb from being planted. And now Handsome, he's going to pop down from heaven and just take down a sneaky little Kenai. So beautiful round there coming from the defense there. Brian Squid played wonderfully. They lost 2 early picks, but the rest of the team, they stood strong and they were just unbreakable.
Yeah, NK in particular, picking up those 3 kills, 3 headshots as well. So really great aim from the Reina. That was a bit of a weird thing to say, but right now So, geez, Brian Squid, they're buying very heavily into this round. 2 Bulldogs for Handsome and Mikkels.
And then you've even got the full armor.
And full shields.
Oh,
Well, they're going to hope they get this one out of the bag.
If not, it's going to be costly for them. And they're holding a little default spawn. As much as you can default with Sky. I'm not too sure where she fits in all of these roles on these maps at the moment. But they've got a quick rotate of Sky over the B side, which is going to leave them weak for the aggression coming out of Lockdown here. And Sky, she's going to be able to get back in time, but it could be a little bit late here.
They're going to have to be very aggressive. NK, nice opening. Floss as well, so it looks like you can lead the 2 duelists there. They're capable of taking care of themselves. Damn, they get a kill into NK. Not much chance of retrieving that one. And Floss have rotated around back. Right, really smart play from the Jet. Picks up their 3rd for the round. And now it's down to Dan, the one lonely Reina. Able to get one. Picks up the Bulldog. What blows away Mikkels? So they've... Brian Squid's given up a weapon and given up a bit of control.
Dan's just flying through the weapon. Started off with a pistol, picked up a Spectre, now he's got the Bulldog, and now he's on the hunt for more. And he knows that there was one up there, so at least he knows where one of the 2 players are. The second one is going to be a little bit more scary, a little bit more hazardous to try and guess where it is, and he's trying to give a little bit of auto cues off to try and force them out of their hiding spots. But can Dan do this? Will he be the man? Will he be the absolute MVP of this round? Well, we'll find out very, very shortly as he picks through the smoke. He comes through, and if lost, we'll shut that down.
All Brian Squid had to do was wait there. They knew the Rainer didn't have the spike. It was lying on the ground, and really, once the time came to it, Dan was stuck for options. Just had to make a beeline for it, and that's really always going to play in the defense's hand. A nice start to the match. Squid getting those two on the board. Haven't really seen much out of LaCroix yet. I'll be curious to see this guy getting a little more into the action, but you know what? It's early days. It's okay. Sometimes you just need a little bit of time to warm up.
Yeah, but I mean, you were on an eco round and you managed to take out 3 of your opponents, causing a little bit of havoc with their loader. They've got, a few half armors, not as much firepower as they like.
And they're half buying into this round as well, so Lockdown are going to have the advantage. Full shields and rifles across the board.
And NK1, he goes aggressive, but Dan's going to be able to find it this time. He wants revenge for last round being taken down, not being able to secure that round. And now they storm this site. It's free. It's open. They're trying to lock down some site, but Iflos gets the kill before the site is shut down on him. Can they get that plant down? The bomb is a little bit far behind here. This allows the rotation coming in, but they're collapsing, finding the kills. They're up. 2 people. Dan comes around the corner. They know where the last person is. This is a strong round coming from Lockdown.
Handsome stuck all on their lone, so going to have to deal with the cover blocking off their entrance from the defender's spawn. Playing very cautiously is the Omen, but Kenny is there. Going to be spotting that one out. The spray is good for Handsome, in fact. So it's getting closer than the odds, and you're seeing that Jet on very low health as well. So things looking good for the Omen. But needs... it's a cheeky little fake teleport.
He knows where they are, and he's trying to give as much time, but they're waiting for it. He's going to get the one. He knows where the last one is. This could be the round going his way. He's going to start defusing. He has to stick it here if he wants to make it, but actually playing it correctly, waiting for it to start ticking down, and waiting for Handsome to drop his guard.
There you go. Let Lockdown get their first round win on the board, and it's kind of expected given the way the buys went into that round. And Brian Squid, that aggressive buy in the second round, is still hurting them. They're not going to be buying into this round either. Lockdown is close to being on an eco round, but they're going to have enough to at least buy a rifles and light shields. So once again, they're going to have an advantage, a good chance to level that up here in this round.
Man, you have a little look at those scoreboards at the moment. It's a little stacked against Dan. Dan is holding his team up with his shoulders at the moment as he's carrying the weight, as he's got 7 kills. And that's what you want from your duelists. You said this last match. Your duelists need to pop off with these frags, and Dan is showing what he is capable of. And he is definitely the one to watch at the moment as he's looking towards B-site through hookah.
Michael's turret is the first victim of this round. Not much utility left for the Killjoy either, but nice play by Handsome, taking Zora out of the fight. Cheeky little headshot. So that's a fancy reload animation there, Mr. Handsome.
He's living up to his name. As now they're starting to look down the side, but they don't know where the spikes are, but their first entire rotations to B side, and look at him at A. A is free. A is the new home of Lockdown as the spike starts to go down.
On the bright side, Brian Squid, they have all the real estate they could possibly want on that B side. It's a nice sunny area, wide open spaces. That's the kind of place I'd want to settle down and raise some kids. But this isn't a house hunt. This is Valorant Iced in heaven. Taking down Floss. It's going to level things out. Lockdown still with plenty of room. Iced picks up a second kill. Nice opening from the Cypher.
And they've got a lot of weapons now. They've picked up 2 weapons on the side, so they're not really underpowered anymore as they start running in. There's a nice little crowd there, but a beautiful shot from Dan coming from Cubby. Make sure that it can't get too much more. Mikkels, the only one that didn't have extra firepower, has got this ghost. Can he find the kill? The bomb's ticking down, so he won't be able to get the defuse, but can he get a weapon? He cannot. Dan will pick up the second, and that is the second round also going in favor of Lockdown.
Jeez, Brian Squid, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. This time, they're going to have the funds to buy in, so this, I guess, really, this is going to be the first rifle round we're seeing in the game. 4 rounds in. I keep saying the word round a lot. I've got to find a new way of saying, I don't know, first instance. No, let's deal with that another time. But actually, Zorro picked up a sheriff, so I think they might be looking to try and get 1 kill, maybe retrieve a weapon, so things still not looking... Oh, sorry, Zorro. No, sorry, Zorro is on lockdown. What am I saying? Interesting. So not able to buy into this round. They chose not to buy into this round.
One side doesn't have the money, the other's got an operator, and it's watching down mid here. You can see the jiggle peeking. He wants to go around the corner. He jiggles, and unfortunately, he went luckily. The left side you're looking at does not get shot, and Efros quickly repositions, watching towards the showers, and they're going to know that's it's locked down.
Lockdown wants none of this. They're off. No, operator, I'm out. This is not what I signed up for.
I think it's the perfect call because they've already forced a little bit of rotation coming for the Omen, but Handsom's quickly making his way back, so they've got the nice site balanced out, and they might not expect Iflos being on the B side with the operator here, and they might get caught out unless they want to quickly jump in the teleport and rotate back to A.
Please tell me they're going for the teleport. Yeah, throw the layer out. Now, Telly. No, Dan actually going to take out Mikkels across the point. The Killjoy utility is down. Oh, no, Dan gets the drop on Floss. The Jet wasn't ready for the Rainer to be there. Brilliant play out of lockdown. The aggression is paying off for them. Velcroik finally gets it in on the action, picks up one, take it down by the Blades of Zorro, but a comprehensive round win for lockdown. Their streak continues. They're up for their first lead in the match.
Zorro grabs those daggers and draws a nice Z on those final two enemies as they secure their third round. And as you mentioned, it's the first time they've been up in this match, and they're feeling comfortable. They're on a 3-win streak here, and they're up against opponents whose economy is shattered. You know, you've got full firepower, you're likely to win this round, and that's 4 in a row. Their morale must be skyrocketing at this moment as they continually bring into these rounds, once they're comfortable, bringing in so much skill and coordination.
Not looking good. There you go. You see the guiding light coming out. That wasn't an owl, it was a hawk. You've got to make sure the ornithologists are quite... Well, yeah. We don't want to upset the ornithologists by picking up the wrong bird names. Handsome waiting in hooker. The shorty pops over the top. Oh no, has to reload, going to get cut down by Dan. Not a good start for Brian Squid.
It was a good attempt though, you know, getting a kill for Shorty is always not only fun from a spectator point of view, but the sound is great and you then find yourself a weapon. But it was a kind of expected round, but even better that they were able to get through flawlessly. And you've got 2 ultimates on either side now. You have the Empress up on lockdown, which is going to be scary because we've seen Dan's mechanical skills and it's unbelievable. But
13-3?
Yes, it is unbelievable.
What did Dan eat for breakfast this morning? I want some.
And then you've got the ultimate of Handsome, and we've seen he wants to play a little bit tricky. We've seen him, you know, relocate, or not relocate, but kind of step to the side, playing off his the enemy, confuse him a little bit. So I love to see where he decides to reposition on the map when he uses that ultimate, and Frost gets a beautiful shot through showers.
Delightful, and that is what you needed to see. As Brian Squid, just a little bit of stabilization early in the round, making lockdown think about what they want to do. They're not going to have the advantage coming in this time. And once again, you're seeing the rotating. They don't want to deal with the operator. It worked out for lockdown last time. The question is, can they pull it off once again, or will Brian Squid get wise what the defense wants to run? There you go. The Seekers are out.
Here we go. They're on the hunt. They've found one that's going to be down the showers. They're going to know that's there. And they're going to see the one in mid go towards B side. So this should give them a little bit of information that there's a B side aggression. That information is crucial as you're going to see Sky start rotating.
The highest hit is coming down. We're seeing a little bit of sneaky play from Ice. The Cypher still waiting, but going to get caught foul of NK. And now lockdown, you see where the positioning on the minimap will spread all across the map, trying to decide, do we go left, do we go right? They've got to make a decision. There's only 30 seconds left, and they're going to be pushing in with disadvantage no matter which way they go.
And they have the funds here, so if they want to try and, you know, get these kills, they can, and try and take the opponent's economy out, just down a little bit of a tad. And as Kenny's on site, but it's going to get shot from elbow. His teammate is able to not find the kill on the elbow, and it's just going to retreat. And that is probably the wisest move you can do at this stage. He's got 11 HP, so he's thankful he's got the life. He's got the bomb to show for it, but he's going to survive that weapon.
Just plant it there. I don't understand why the spike has to be planted in certain locations. Just pick up a little bit of dirt. Make a big brown dirt explosion.
I mean, you don't want to take out the market. They have beautiful spices there, Temporal. You know, you've got to go there for your afternoon spice after you've planted the bomb, and then go home to your families.
Well, so the spices, they use the explosion to spread the spices across the city. Man, you know, the air will taste lovely. Wouldn't you want to I would love to visit a city where I'm walking through going, geez, this air tastes wonderful.
I think I would be crying as the spices would be burning my nostrils and my eyes. I'm pretty poor when it comes to spices. I can't even do the crispy strips at KFC because it burns.
Oh man, I could go for some crispy chips right now. Speaking of spicy play, we've seen Velkroik and Mikkels. They came into the match last round, finally lighting this up. NK goes down, so they're going to have their work cut out for them again this time. Lockdown marches on A. They got the advantage. You see the rotations coming through. Brian Squid, they know where they suspect where the hit is coming down. They've got a good idea. Ice finishing off Velkroik and Zoro taking Handsome as well. Gives Lockdown a handy advantage on the A site, and that shot from Floss finds nothing.
I think we need to see the defense here. Brian Squid, retreat, cover their losses. They are only 2 down, but I mean, you've got an operator. You don't want to lose that when you're not going to be able to pick this up the next round. We're seeing how well Iflos has been able to find these kills over and over, and these one-ways aren't working so well against Iflos. Iflos is able to duck and peek under the smokes, almost able to find a kill, and I think they're rightfully going to back off and save what precious weaponry that they have.
Smart play. Their loss bonus has been reset thanks to that win from the last round. They would, they'd be able to buy in a little bit, but you wouldn't be having much in the way of utility. Floss going with the smart play. Oh, come on, Kenny. You can't be doing that. You know the operator is there. Ooh. Interesting play out of Zoro. Trying to... Oh, takes down Floss. The operator. Mikkels looking at retrieving. Zoro with the hero play. That is going to put Brian Squid's economy into shambles.
Oh, it was looking so well, and then they decided they got the first kill on F-Force with the operator, and they're like, okay, we've got this. They're chasing us down. We'll find kills. But then Zoro just comes on in with the help of his team, and they find the last 2 remaining members of Brian Squid, and that's going to hurt. That's going to put the defense down. It's going to go down a little bit. What do you do now? You're now playing from behind again, and actually they went for another semi-buy almost. Oh, a little bit more than semi-buy, I should say.
Yeah, full shields of rifles across the board. Just Mikkels on the Bulldog, the lightest investment in the round. I guess you've got to get something back on the board because this... I mean, Lockdown have all the money in the world, especially thanks to that retrieved op. Velkroik just watching down B main, the right spot. Now going to have to deal with the Owl drone, though, coming out of Kateri.
Oh, what a beautiful flash from Velkroik. Throws the flash down long the corner. He finds himself 2 easy kills. Wonderful job there from Velkroik.
Well, that might just be the stabilization that Brian Squid needed. Floss picking up Iced as well. This round looks like it's going to sit comfortably in the way of the defense. We'll see where these 2 remaining Lockdown players choose to go. But they're going to be contending with at least 2 defenders on either side.
And we're going to start seeing them. They're looking down some of that side. Once Heaven has been taken down as they move on and checking the corners. They're going to see the nice little Ifros hanging out to the side. But Handsome is not letting this happen. He rains his beauty down from the heavens and will pick up the round for the defense.
Nice play there out of Brian Squid to get one. The question is, can they start stringing together multiple rounds in a row? Because that's really what they need to do to break the bank of Lockdown. Otherwise... Like, if they don't get it this round, they're just going to run out of half, and Lockdown is going to run into their own defense with a brilliant setup. And the real question for Brian Squid is the composition they're running. It is a competent defensive setup, but can they also pull it out on attack? I know Killjoy is good on both, but I have a feeling the way that Brian Squid has been playing it, maybe they're favouring the defense and they don't want to go down too much into the half.
You're right about that, but I think this guy has been able to show the kind of aggression that being able to find these kills, we saw it in the last round, throwing out that flash and being able to find those kills would work wonders on the offense side. And here we've got the Hunter Furies coming out, trying to push them off the side and open up a little bit more for Dan to find the kill, but it just barely misses. Ifros playing a great corner there is going to find himself a kill, as now it is 5 versus 3, and Handsome can't move them all down. There's just too many bodies, not enough bullets, as now it's 1 versus 4.
NK open up well, dodge the Hunter's Fury, cleans up just for good measure as Brian Squid, they're back in this. It's 5v5 and finally the economies are roughly even. I mean, it's no issue for Lockdown, they can still buy in, but at least Brian Squid, they've caught up.
And they're starting to feel a little bit back into the flow of things. They looked a little shaky, but now they're starting to play their game again. And they're getting good rotations. They're slowing down the offense, which allows them to reposition time and time again, get at these better angles, and then just be able to play on the minds of their opposition, because you don't know where they've gone. They're always constantly in these new angles. Their default angles, off angles. They're playing in ridiculous positions, and it just works.
Had the operator in hand, misses the shot. Dan able to clean that one up, and the Devour's going to re-heal the Rainer most of the way. Of course, no shields, but going to provide a little bit more survivability. Velcroik as well pops out. You can't be challenging Dan like this. They're already on 17 kills. We're not even halfway through the bloody map yet. But now Floss to do out of the teleporter, not going to be getting the drop on Kenny. Lockdown have the oh my god, they have the map on lockdown. Dan picks up their third for the round. Empress Online yet again deswallowed.
And they played that well. I mean, they dedicated certain players to do certain roles there. Kenny, once they heard the teleporter, he was on duty at that door. He stood there with his life, guarded it, and it caught the Iflos off guard. You saw the rest of them on sites. Once they grabbed the site, they got into positions, wonderful crossfires, and they just spread out, and the communication was wonderful. I mean, what do you do once they get on site like this? It's scary, and once they're on defense, their communication, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of aggressive lurking going on and the wrapping around coming on in, because I don't feel like Lockdown's a team that wants to stand around after on Lockdown for too long.
The two different birds pass each other, Dan and Hooker. And Brian Squid has been able to buy into this round, which is the last of the half. They're hoping to level things out, and that's a nice start. A couple of kills going their way. Kenny gets one back. The ultimate's coming in line. There's no sense holding on to them. You can't take them with you. The Seekers looking for something down B main. You can destroy them. You know, you at least know someone's down there. Zoro back with the operators. Kateri gets one as well. So Lockdown aren't out of this quite just yet.
Man, that teleport is a death trap. Every time someone goes through it, there's always a person on lockdown waiting to pick up that kill. And now it's 2 versus 3. But at the moment, on this side, it's 2 versus 2, because that Omen is playing a little bit cautious, but he's got that ability to come on at a moment's notice if he needs be. And they still have the kills on ultimate, which they haven't used yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that very shortly. Once his arrow is used, we might see that lockdown be placed inside of Elbow, and that's going to be very difficult. He needs to survive a little bit longer.
Migos has to back off. Kateri gets a pick on the Velcroik. Now it's a 2v2. The spike is going down. The lockdown, though, may just force the attackers away. We're going to see that one player sitting inside the crates, duking it out with Handsome. Kateri goes down. Handsome has got the cover of the lockdown. They're going to start the defuse now. They're going to get at least halfway. Zoro pops out, misses the first shot. Now Handsome knows where the jet is. All of them in the dark cover is going to save the defuse. Brian Squid, they bring it back and end out the half 6-all.
Switching sides.
Oh, such a close shot there from Zoro with the operator. He fired towards the bomb, but just grazed the shoulder. The killjoy there was sweating as Mikhails was able to get the defuse, and wow, what a wonderful first half to this match, Temple. This is just backwards and forwards from both sides. It's just an absolute slugfest. Both sides are throwing the hooks and just kind of trying to bring the momentum as long as they can through the match. And, well, what are we looking to see come the second half?
He's looking to see Dan, the man, getting the job done. 18-7 first half. You know, this second half goes the whole way, which it potentially could. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 30 bomb, bit overtime, maybe a 40 bomb from the Rainer. It's ludicrous how good they have been so far. Lockdown really will be looking for them to keep up the pressure, but if Floss gets the job on Kenny, the Omen not quite able to finish the job on.
Yeah,
on A to get the spike.
there's a beautiful little dash in there, just caught the opponent off guard, and Ice is now able to get the return kill for the side, so it's now 4 versus 4 with the retake coming on in from Lockdown. How well was the Lockdown? Dan is pushing into lamps as Ice finds kills around the other rest of the map. Dan gets a beautiful shot. He's going to find himself a second, and they're just in the opposition at the moment. One's trying to hide in smoke. One's picked up the third, and what a beautiful round for Lockdown.
There was enough intel there to highlight where Handsome was playing from. Brilliant work from the defense, as you said. It was interesting. Once Brian Squid got on site, they were throwing down the Killjoy utility. They had the cover they needed, but Lockdown just had the plays that was required. Now we're going to see them buy a little bit into this round. Kateri, the Sova picking up the Ares. Not too surprising. It's a common play you see. You've got the ability to gather a whole lot of intel for yourself. You can follow up. Okay, just firing that off. I shouldn't talk about what players are going to have until... No, drops it again. I'm going to stop right now. In any case, Lockdown are buying into this round.
Yeah, Catherine was probably a little bit unsure himself though, as they're switching between those weapons, and finally comes to the arrows and it's going to be holding up in heaven. I'm not too sure how I feel about that kind of angle. If you've got that weapon that's got good bullet penetration, you should be holding closer to the walls, especially close to that shower wall where you can penetrate that wall fairly easily and try and get a dink or two on an opposing player, especially if you've got that recon bolt out there, as you
We're
mentioned.
Just iced over here on site for Lockdown. The one player going to have to deal with the entirety of Brian Squid as they come in for their attack. The Cybercade is buying a little bit of time, allowing some repositioning as well, but the Spectre, not exactly the best long-range weapon. I still be looking for a shallower angle, a tighter angle, to try and take advantage of the gun and buy time for the rest of Lockdown to rotate.
Speaking of, you got Zoe holding a pistol out, waiting for the hookah push. He knows something's going on. They're going to slow that down a little bit longer, but dash in on sight and gets instantly shut down by Dan and the Spectre, and the rest of them are just colliding into the force of Lockdown. They're falling. There's nothing you can do about it. This is so well on that Spectre as he kills them one after one after one.
And the Cypher, with a well-deserved 4K, held that site long enough for all the reinforcements to get there. And got to ask the question of Brian Squid. They had the numbers there. Yeah, you don't know it, but they waited so long. It was you've got to know that you know the Cypher is over there. You've got to know the rest of the defenders are coming. Maybe they just took a little bit too long to hit the go button, get onto site, and in an eco round, aggression is your friend. If you've got the chance, you've got the numbers, you need to get in there, get hard, maybe retrieve a gun, and that's going to be the key to your success.
You've got nothing to lose in those kinds of rounds and everything to gain, but now we've got full firepower up in here, and we've seen them do this time and time again. When they've been on a low streak, they pick up the full firepower and they're able to pull themselves around. Let's see how they do here on the offense as they're getting prepared for an A execute.
Terry, no, not going to be spotting anyone. Okay, does spot turnaround. So he does turn around, sees NK there. Now you see the RS sprang to the wall. Boom! Dan is actually the one that takes out NK in the end. Kateri, their life saved by the friendly Rainer. Whilst poking out, dodges a paranoia. That was a definite little move for the Jet, but not enough to escape from the Omen themselves. Trades going either way, but still favouring Lockdown.
And they're going to decide to start rotating to B. There's been a lot of utility used on both sides, but you're still up against Dan and the rest of his team. I mean, just having Dan alive alone strikes a little bit of fear into the hearts of the opposition, and they're going to slowly make their way over to the B side here, and they're going to be running into many of those traps. And shortly, they'll see the rotate come on and the retake capabilities of Lockdown.
With 30 seconds left, Brian Squid has to get a wriggle on this time. They're lucky that Lockdown hasn't chosen to make any rotations yet. With that little bit of damage going out, they know something's up. Utility there. The cyber cage is being triggered. And reinforces behind Dan through the teleporter. We'll see if the Rainer can be the playmaker once again. The spike goes down.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, they've turned this right back around temple. They found themselves a beautiful from Kentucky. It's not 1 versus 1. This is where he wants to be. He didn't quite see the gun coming from the little tuna can there, and he might walk right, puts him in the back, and will find himself a kill.
Was looking the wrong way. Finally, the Ares gets it to fill a nice 3K from Kateri. As Lockdown, they surge ahead. 3 rounds in the lead is the biggest of the match so far.
Oh, it was a great effort put up there from Lockdown. What looked to be so far behind just turned out to be an absolute stunning round for them there. And they must be feeling good from that. And they've got an operator up on their Zora, so they're going to be able to hold these lines. And once you hear that shot go off, you're going to be scared. You're probably going to rotate. We've seen that time and time again over the course of tonight in most of these matches. You hear that operator, you want to go the other way with the tail in between your legs.
Revealing area.
Well, it's going to have to be big players out of Zora, but I mean, you've got players like Dan, Iced on your team. You know, the operator's just there for good measure. You can probably try and hold down a site solo through fear if you really had to.
Speaking of which, Iced and Dan, they're coming up from behind here.
Big rotation. They're going to be diverted by the turret, buying Brian Squid a little bit more time. Kenny sitting in the smoke. A nice positioning. We're going to have to deal with NK across the site. Zoro backs off. That damaged Jet not quite wanting to take the stand-up fight. And the Seekers, I believe, yes. Zoro dealing with those capably. Spike finally going down.
And Dan and Ice, they're coming in from behind. They're going to start offering a little bit of support. Zoro gets a beautiful shot down as now Dan gets shot down. Velcroic is able to find that kill in a very good position here as Cypher gets the Neurofest out, pops out, gets himself another kill, and now Ifros, he gets one, it's two, it's 3 versus 1. Ifros, it's holding team. Zoro, he's not going down without a fight. Still got the operator, finds himself one, just misses the second shot. Opponents are struggling to hold on to the side now. Zoro needs to start defusing. Gets flashed. He retreats to behind the safety of the boxes. He pops around the corner, but the smoke is still up there. He's in a very difficult situation at the moment. There's not much he can do, and he has to retreat.
Yeah. Brian Squid as much time as they needed. Velcroic is going to get away with their life unless they're going to get just far enough away. Smart play out of Zoro to save the op, but it was really close. I mean, Iced onto the side, threw the hat out of showers, then marched out, had no right whatsoever to pick up NK, but the Rangers just a little slow on the trigger in the end. Brian Squid, they get away with it, and they're clawing that lead back, only 2 rounds behind now.
Yes, and it's not unattainable. They've got their one up. They're looking to probably get their second of this half onto the scoreboard coming up very shortly, and the buyers are a little bit awkward coming from their opponents. You see Lockdown there, they've got themselves not the greatest of buyers. They've got an Arrows and a Stinger, so they've got a little bit of damage, but it's not as much you'd want as they try and get a little bit of information of their opponents. They will find that there are a couple working down towards that mid as they hold and steadfast.
Well, we'll see if this pays off for the defending team. See Ice holding that short angle with the Stinger. They're really going to have to hope someone blunders their way up B short, because if Brian Squid hit A or they come out of hookah, it's going to be very difficult for the Cypher to pick anything up. But looks like there may be in luck. A couple of players from the attacking team, they're hovering over there looking for something. Kateri, a nice pick. There you go. The wallbang through the showers finally pays off for the Cypher. Playing a little closer, as you suggested, would be more beneficial. But the spike's still in hand for Brian Squid. They've got to make a decision. 50 seconds left on the clock.
You can see 2 of them over on B side. They want to make that decision themselves. Handsome's getting ready to start blocking off a few of these sight lines as they start blowing CT and elbow off. Gives them a few little less areas to check as Ilfros wants to jump on out and gets hit by the spike and instantly retreats. And that's going to delay a little bit longer as Velcroic finds Dan. And once they see Dan go down, they're going to start rotating. They know the site is weak and they're going to hit it hard. I think this is a fantastic move.
Yeah, the rotator, the beta, the switch out of lockdown is going to open things up for the attacking team. Handsome's going to use it from the shadows. No, not going to choose to invest it now. Just going to buy a little bit more time, but the rotations are going back. You see Kateri dashing their way through spawn. Kenny picks up Handsome. The Omen not going to be joining the rest of the team, even 3v3, but Kateri, but the pressure's on. They're going to have to deal with the Tassie Tiger. That might have just have seen all 3 players coming from the defender spawn.
And they would have definitely heard at least the 2 different weaponry they used to take it down, as now they're holding positions. They're ready. You got the very far back Jet Wend coming at the very last second. Ifros doesn't want to play close, and Velcroic is able to hold fast into Lamps. Is the Genie, but the Genie finally gets taken down as the wish is being granted for Kunai, as he's got 2. He's got for the round, and now he's running towards the bomb. He has to try and hold itself. He starts defusing, gets taken down, and Ifros knows this is done and dusted. He hears the defuse. So, go for it. He gets the kill, and he retreats. No escapes with their lives in this round.
No, but Zoro at least made Floss pay for it with their life. They're not going to take that rifle in within the next round. They're chipping away at Brian Squid's economy as the attacking team pick up their first double round win of the half. It was sorely needed. They couldn't afford to go through the half just picking up nickel and dime rounds here and there. And even better, they're one behind. That buy from lockdown didn't pay off. Now they're stuck on an eco.
But I mean, we've seen what they can do with Sheriffs. We saw it in the first half. They had quite a few good kills and shots with the Sheriffs, damaging their opponents. So I'll still be a little bit worried as we might have the new Cowboy map already come to us by just them taking over this town, claiming it their own as they become the Sheriffs, trying to take the law into their own hands. But unfortunately, Handsome, he's not down for that. He's not a law-abiding citizen.
The long-range head-clicking power of the Vandal, far too much for Kateri. A couple of players sitting in lamps. Oh, Dan going to pop around the corner, but Floss getting the better of that. Zoro follows up, biding their time well, but it's a long way to climb. Gonna upgrade to a different sheriff now. That's not what we wanted. The Phantom in hand. NK picks up a quick 2k. Zoro, the second of the, going to be paranoid, has to back off 7 health for the Jet. Things not looking good for them to even hold on to this rifle at this point.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to hold on to it. He's going to throw out the smokes, a quicker retreat, so he does manage to sneak on out here. Do they decide to take it down? No, they do not. They're going to hold on to their weaponry because their economy is not looking too good themselves. Most of them are under 1,000 credits, which means coming into the next round, a couple of them are not going to be going into it with a nice, decent firepower to try and capitalize onto this point. And, well, Lockdown are going to be looking good, as their economy is going to be looking better as we move into round number 19.
Things leveling up, that loss bonus stacking up. As you said, going to level things out here. But Lockdown, they really want to get another round win or two on the board. They can't let Brian Squid get this much momentum late into the game. Both teams at 9-9, we're closing in on that elusive match point. And at this point, it might just be the mental game which carries one team or the other over the line at the end. Seeing a limited buy coming in from the side of Brian Squid. Interesting choice, just half shields for a couple of players. It looks like they're banking for future rounds, actually. So they're wary of the power of Lockdown.
And we got ultimates all over the place for both sides here. How will they be used to get onto these sites? They now know one's up on Heaven. They didn't see the one down just behind default, and they're going to have to retreat as they've lost the fight. They have not lost the war. As over on the side of Hookah, they want to push out into the site, but you have two very defensive positionings coming from Kenai and Zoro. They don't want to take any chances at this stage, and you're seeing that both teams are playing slow and they do not want to give an inch.
But what you're seeing is NK and Valkyrie, they're locking up 3 defenders over on the A side. So Brian Squid, they can hit B with a player advantage. Mikkels opens up onto Kenny. It's just the one player left. Zoro's going to be stuck in the backline. Handsome takes down the Jet. A free sight available to the attacking team. And the Lockdown just to solidify that defuse. Wow, they've wasted 3 ultimates just to get the spike down.
Oh, and this is not looking good. They did use their Hunter's Fury to make sure that Killjoy's ultimate was not effective, which is good use of utility, and they got a little bit of information, but now it's iced up against Iflos's daggers. And, well, usually if you bring a knife to a gunfight in this game, you're going to win it.
It's okay, as long as you stick with the left clicks. The right clicks, a little diced. Yeah, it looks great in your highlight reel, but you have to spend hundreds of hours trying it to actually build a minute-long highlight reel.
It's like the classic. You do not right-click with the classic, because, at least for me, every time I right-click, it never works.
I don't know, the classic is good if you're holding that close position in, this company. Not easy to buy classic, you get one for free every round. It's more forgiving than that Blaze Storm right click. Speaking of Blaze Storms, we're going to see one come out from Zoro this round, looking to make as much of an impact as Floss did in the last.
And we saw that they did save most of the ultimates as well. You did see Hunter's Fury was used to counter an ult, but now they have all of them up with the utility. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage in this half, or this stage, I should say. As now Iflos, he goes high. They're going to go and find that kill up at Heaven. So they've opened up the map for the rest of their team to move in, but it looks like they're taking their time. They're not too sure if they want to attack or start to rotate.
Geez, the RS doesn't quite have the long-range power of a Phantom, so Kateri losing that one out, making things difficult for Lockdown. Brian Squid, they're closing in on that match point. The defending team can't afford to let another round go astray. Right now, they're just holding firm on this A site. They've got one player left. On B, it is Kenny. We'll see if the Omen is ready for what's about to hit them, because Brian Squid are on the march.
And Kenny's, he's here. He hears the sounds. He's giving the cues over to his team. He gets one when he goes through. He almost gets the second one. He does a little bit of damage. So a little bit unfortunate there. He wasn't able to find a second one from that surprise. As now Zoro is coming on in with those daggers, trying to find whatever he can, trying to destroy it. He gets one. He's going to make his way around the elbow. Will be for 6, as he's now starting to make his way onto the point and waiting for the rest of his team to get in position.
The Seekers did their job there. Am I kidding? Is there double Empress on the field? No, NK strikes down that false Empress. Sitting in Heaven. Gonna have to throw out the lid. Doesn't quite get anything for it. Zoro, though, picks up Velcroak. So nice play The second lead gonna get cut down in the middle of that. Gonna leave enough space for lockdown to get the defuse. They're keeping things level at 10 apiece.
Oh, will we be seeing overtime temporal? Both these teams are just fighting backwards and forwards. When one team seems to start to get the upper hand and momentum, it just gets instantly shut down by the opposition. They're so evenly matched, and I love it.
Oh, this teams are so good, and that's what I like to see in these divisions. We try and group the teams in roughly the same skill level, so we get these close matches every week. I had to look through the mega spreadsheet, and a lot of matches went close last week. We saw a few 13-11s. Lockdown, I believe. I alt-tab to the right. Actually, yeah, they lost the match, but it was still 13-11 to Mental State. So nice to see from these teams that they're getting good, fair matches.
And ASAP has already started quickly. NKN1 gets a beautiful shot, gets himself an orb as they now start looking towards the A, and it forces a very fast rotation. They don't want to give too much of the site free reign to their opponents of Brian Squid here. They want to turn them into calamari, as now a little bit of shots coming down from heaven from Dan reveals his position, so they know where two of these players are in zone. Unfortunately for the opposition, Brian Squid, they had not a clue where he was, and he peeks out and gets himself a kill.
The defense are going to have to be careful. Floss sitting on the op. Dan follows up Kateri as well. Turns out the op is not a problem for lockdown. They can sit on the low ground, play the angles correctly. That's good to give them not only control over the site, but control over the spike itself. It's down just outside lamps. Brian Squid, they've got to find something, some way of getting to that spike.
We have a little bit of a alert coming on in from Kenny. Dan's going to be able to find the kill. They're hunting for these weapons, and this is the right move. You look at the economy. The economy is burnt. It is burning to the ground on the side of Brian Squid at the moment. They're still trying to find where that operator is, and they're not going to be able to find it. They're going to lock down the spike, and they're going to move into the next round. Very, very comfortable.
Floss, the only silver lining coming out of this round will be that operator save, because as you said, they've got nothing to work with, and really the question for Brian Squid now is, do you buy into this round and try and level things up, or do you hold on, you just assume that Lockdown's going to win the round, and you make sure you can buy into the round on which you're facing into a match point? That is going to be the crucial question. Which way do you think they'll go?
Oh, it's such a hard choice. Most of the time you see people buy up when it's 11. When you see 11 rounds in favor of your opponent, most teams will always buy up because they don't want to have to try and win consecutive rounds with the matches on the line. And that's what we're actually going to see here. They are going to have a decent buy, but it's not the greatest buy here. But at least they still have an operator. They've got the firepower. And if Floss, we've seen him open up these sites with these introductory kills on the operator.
Well, they're going to have to be the hero of the hour, keeping their team in the match. With them down straight away, Ice follows up. Dan and Ice showing absolutely no mercy. Lockdown, they want to secure this match. They don't want to give Brian Squid any hope of coming back in. And right now, look at this aggressive hold from them. They're holding short on both sides.
Yeah, they know they've got the advantage. They know if they take the weapons out, the last round is going to be an easy round. So they're getting so aggressive. But Velkrick is going to make him pay for it. He gets two and it evens the game right back up. Oh, and we've got Handsome. He's going to be... He might blind him by the light of his beautiful face. It's not going to fall for the sheer handsomeness and will take him out. And they're just falling all over the place at the moment.
Every time I see Trailblazer come out, I see it on the silhouette and think, hang on, which player is down on all fours? And that's right, it's just a Tasmanian tiger flying its way through the map. Speaking of flying through this lockdown, he's sitting on match point. They've had a flyer of a half. There was a little brief spurt where Brian Squid was in the match, but now lockdown, they're looking good to secure things that buy into the last round. Has put Brian Squid in a rough position here. Couple of Bulldogs, a Sheriff for Floss, not even the Blades to make up for it. This looks like the ball is going to be squarely in Lockdown's court. It's their match to lose at this point.
They are hurting, but for one thing they do have in their advantage is the two ultimates. But Dan, so strong this entire game, is going to already put Brian Squid at a disadvantage by capitalizing on such an aggressive kill. And they're trying to rotate around. Captain is here for it. He shuts him down. They're trapping them like a caged rat at this stage.
Headshot after headshot after headshot. Dan still looking for that 30k. Might not get there in the end, but Kenny's done a fantastic job just This guy left Velcroy will be gunned down. Dan picks up 3 for the round, and that will see Lockdown securing the match, getting their first win of the season.
And what a win that was. We went into halftime 6 apiece. They fought for it. They struggled. And in the end, they came out on top with some beautiful plays and some great execution from Dan. I mean, 29 and 15 with 10 first bloods. I don't think I've ever seen double digits in first bloods in my life.
That's over 30% first bloods. We played 23 rounds and Dan was getting first blood. Sorry, 33% of. Sorry, that's almost 50%. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
That's insane. That's plus 40%. You don't see the pros doing that. Sometimes a pro will have a great day. You don't see them pulling off 0.4 or so 40% first blood. But I mean, even what's weird is Dan had a quiet second half. You look at that and go, geez, Dan must have been on fire all game. No, the rest of the team stepped up in that second half. There was Ice. There was Zoro picking up, I won't say the slack because it's kind of disrespectful to what Dan did, but Dan, I guess, didn't need to perform in the second half because the rest of the team was there, and it's what got Lockdown over the line after coming in half
And
time.
actually, a little interesting thing to note there, like you look at the kills and deaths, there's only -3 deaths on the side of Lockdown, which means they are on one of their players. Like, they almost had everyone in a positive KD. And then you look on their opponents, you look at Brian Squid. They have a lot of people that did not have a positive KD. This shows that the rounds that Lockdown won, they dominated. They really took the fight to their opponents. The rounds that Brian Squid were able to win, they were just barely scraping through. They were just able to pull up some of those wins, and they fought hard and they struggled and they did well. I mean, if you look at those kills and deaths, they did really well for what they had to play against.
Indeed, they did. And in particular, I enjoyed watching Velcroy play that new agent. It will take a little bit of getting used to for teams both to play with and play against. They had a quiet first half, but once they were on their attack, they did surprisingly well. I think they came into the halftime on about 2 kills. So to end up on 14-16 means they did a 12k second half with only, that's 11 rounds? So actually phenomenal work out of the sky. Just unfortunate they couldn't bring it out in the first half. We'll see over the course of the rest of the tournament if we see a change in Brian Squid. They keep playing the Sky. Maybe they'll be able to adapt to having that agent in their roster a little better, and it might prove the decisive edge if no one else in the group is willing to even dabble with that agent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad we got to see Sky. I mean, you've seen even a little bit of the new play styles, and you can see how aggressive Sky can be, and I think that's one of the scariest things that Sky is going to offer in the future, is that potential to get the flash off. We saw the flash last quite long. I'm not sure if you've been flashed against it yourself, but if you're staring at it, it feels longer than a good old curveball coming from your good old Phoenix. But I think one thing we need to see utilized a little bit more is following in the abilities of Sky. Most people are used to following in the Aldrone from your Sova, but I don't feel like we've really felt the pressure once the recon abilities came out from Velcroic. We didn't really see the teams follow that in and try and capitalize on the openings that your players in, because the opponents have to face the abilities, kill them, and then quickly move the cursor back. So I feel like we haven't seen Sky completely utilized well there, because obviously it is a new character and it is a new playstyle to play with. But when we start seeing that, I think Sky's going to be possibly the top picked character. I'm throwing it out there.
Indeed, and it might just come down to familiarity. I know I hear the Sova drone, I think, I should run in on the back of that. The Tasmanian Tiger, it's a little different sounds, a bit more natural, just disconcerting for players. But you know what? We've got plenty more Conquest Clash coming up over the next few weeks. Make sure you're sticking tuned to the AOE socials. That's AOE Esports on all the popular platforms. Also at aoeesports.com.au, keeping abreast of all the fantastic information we have on this tournament, plus everything else we have out for you. And also, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thanks to Abby on production. Thanks to D-Swell for joining me. And especially thanks to My Republic Gamer for sponsoring us here at Amateur Oceanic Esports. I've been Temporal. You've witnessed some great Valorant. Good night.